What's going on, guys? Today we are in Gelmir Hero's Grave. So, Gelmir Hero's Grave is actually a pretty interesting dungeon where we see this big ass chariot. And if you haven't seen this chariot before, you can actually find it way at the beginning of the game where you first start inside that fog of war where you need to use stone sword keys to actually get inside. So the first thing I did is I run right into those cubbies. Now again, if you haven't seen this before, there are always going to be cubbies on your way to avoid this chariot. But what's different about this chariot than the other chariot is we're actually going to do something very interesting with it later. But if you watch here, you're just going to see that I am just going cubby to cubby for now. Just trying to stay alive. Avoiding the skeletons on the way, picking up some loot here and there. The cool thing about the lava is it will kill the skeletons as well as the chariot. The chariot does not discriminate who it's going to run over. The cool thing about the lava is it looks a lot scarier than it is. It does damage you. However, it doesn't damage you too much. The biggest thing you have to worry about while being inside the lava is it slows you down tremendously. So again, we're just going to keep avoiding this chariot, going into each cubby, killing the skeletons on the way, and be very careful when attacking or fighting these skeletons in the cubbies. As you saw, that one died and it was still pretty much on the very edge. Now what I do here is, and what I did the whole time, I just cut around it for this video, is I'll poke my head out and look to where it starts and stops. One thing about the chariot that a lot of people may not know is that it will change where it starts and stops based on where you are in the dungeon. So since I had already been through this area, I did die a couple of times. I kind of just breezed past those guys up there. Next thing with this trap, if you haven't seen it before, you can always shoot it with an arrow to make it go down. Take my bow off so I can equip my sword back again. And then we're going to run through here. Now there are two directions you can go from here. And we're going to go through this area coming up here. We'll see the chariot again. The other area that is not pictured in the video is just one small room. There's an enemy in there and some loot. I believe Grave Glovewort was in there. So now, I cut around this as well, but I wasn't really sure where to go. This is where it gets a little interesting, is there's a really tiny ledge right off the side there. We just jump right onto that bad boy. And then we can kind of crawl through this small tunnel right ahead here after picking up some loot. And that is going to bring us sort of to the next area. Now, inside this area, it's not too bad. You just have to get the jump on this guy. If you have fought this boss before, then you'll recognize him. Although this person is a lot weaker, it's just the same style, where he's holding the large curved greatsword, and he kind of is on all fours. But as you can see, he's a lot weaker. Just make sure you get the jump on him, and then you will get a full armor set. And then straight ahead, there's some more loot, which is actually another full armor set, which is really cool. So 2 full armor sets right in this one dungeon, which that alone makes it worth it. If that was all you're after, you can actually leave from right here. But we want to get all the way to the end and beat the boss. So we climb up this ladder, and once we get to the top is where it gets a little confusing. Now, I did something incorrect here, or what I would describe as incorrect, but I kept it in the video anyway because I want to show you. Here, you kind of don't understand what you're supposed to do. There are those pillars that it looks like you could climb on, but I dropped off because I did peek this loot, and then there's actually a cemetery shade right there that you have to kill. So again, make sure you get the jump on him. If you don't, he's going to make your life hell. Now, again, I didn't know where to go back from here, so I went back up to the roof. We'll zoom kind of through that real quick. And then once we get back up here, I realized that we actually should attempt to jump on that bad boy. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of at this point. So we are going to drop right on it and just ride that guy down the lava. So this is how you avoid all of that lava. It's going to turn around. We see right there on the right where we jump off. Apparently I didn't, as you can see when I jumped off here. I was rolling around a little scared that there was going to be too much damage. But again, the lava isn't too bad if you have a lot of health. And if you don't, just remember that you right where that exit is and it won't be too bad at all. So that is actually pretty much the end of the dungeon. It can be very quick if you don't die. I did die a few times through it, you know, as we do. This is Elden Ring. And then from here, we can make it to the boss fight. So is a stake of Marika there in case you die. And then let's go fight this guy. So here, I always spawn a summon. If you're the type that doesn't spawn a summon, then you can probably stop watching here. I don't have too much advice for you. If you guys recall seeing this fox before, all of his movesets are the exact same. He'll launch out the his magical knives, he does his jump, he does his sword slam. Every once in a while he will do 2 side swipes with his sword followed by a slam, just like you'll see here, 2, and then a big slam. No slam this time, right into magic blade. Dodge, dodge. Whenever he does his magic blade, the blue one, he will follow through with a tackle at you. Just like so. Luckily, though, he aggroed his magic knives to me and then his slam to my summon. But as you can see, if you're watching, he is extremely squishy. So just stay on your guard, dodge where you can, and get your hits in when you can. So overall, a super easy boss, and we get a nice little piece of loot here at the end. Let's run all the way to the chest here, open her up, see what's inside, and we get that death root. So the death root we can give to the merchant all the way in Caelid for extra stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.